As we get closer to next year's presidential election, President Joe Biden continues to get bad news as progressive groups deliver alarming news to the White House. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new video today. It is time that we talk about the 2024 presidential election, because everyone, once again, Joe Biden and his top aides have received terrible news from outside groups, outside the White House, from the media, from progressive groups, basically everyone, because now progressive groups are now starting to tell the Biden White House that no, Bidenomics is not working. It's not convincing people to say the White House or the economy is great and the White House is correct. And it really starts to make you wonder, why is this now we're getting all the news about Obama's former chief of staff saying he should not run for re-election? You have Tim Ryan saying he shouldn't run for re-election. You have Dean Phillips running. And now you have progressive groups saying this isn't working. It really makes you wonder, okay, what's going on here? What is the Biden White House going to do about it? All of that. But first, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $1 a month, you could join Real American. This is the best way to support the daily content that we all know and love. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Alright, everybody. Now, again, I'm not saying that Democrats are trying to force out Biden, but it is very odd that these progressive groups, that a lot of people outside the Biden administration, they're either warning Biden that this isn't working, or flat out are saying you should not run for re-election. It really makes you wonder, okay, how much discourse is happening behind closed doors that we don't know about? How much arguing is happening about Biden should run for a re-election or shouldn't? I don't think they're going to force out Biden. I still think that's a ludicrous thing. But it really makes you wonder, wait a minute. These groups have been warning Biden for months that this messaging has not worked, and so far he hasn't changed it? Let's just get into it, because it just seems like it doesn't make much sense, but whatever. Earlier this year, President Joe Biden's top aides met a pair of progressives who had arrived in the West Wing with reams of data and a private warning. Bidenomics wasn't breaking through. This is the most obvious statement you could say. Bidenomics never worked. It never has. It never will. What Biden is trying to do is what Clinton did in the 90s, saying Clintonomics, we have a great economy, which we did in the 90s, but now, not so much. I don't care what data the White House craps out that turns out to be fake 5 months later. It doesn't matter. When you have 80% of Americans saying the economy sucks, you should not be hammering, well, the economy is great. We're going to focus everything on Bidenomics and how the economy is soaring. It really isn't. And it just seems like absolute incompetence by the GOP, or I should say the Democrat Party, for allowing this to happen. I mean, it's clearly not working. The polling has actually gotten worse for Biden since he started pushing this Bidenomic message. The White House has spent the past 3 months trying to build enthusiasm for Biden's economic record, spotlighting major policy accomplishments and celebrating a surge in economy that it planned to make central to his re-election bid. This was the dumbest thing you could possibly do. What the hell is the White House trying to accomplish? Do these idiots really think people think the economy is great? Here's 2 problems. All right. 1, it doesn't matter what statistic you look at. It's factual. The economy under Trump before COVID was far better than whatever metric that Biden's pushing out. when you adjust for COVID and all that stuff, before COVID, Trump's economy was factually one of the strongest in American history. It's fact. Even a lot of Democrats admitted it. So, focusing on the economy is not the smartest when clearly Trump's economy was better. And that makes people trust him more. And number two, a lot of these metrics, when you dig deep into them, they're inflated to make Biden look good. Like the jobs market. Yes, it's growing, but the problem is, look at where it's growing from. It isn't from high-paying manufacturing jobs. It's crappy, low-paying, like McDonald's. People are working at McDonald's now. Whoop-de-frickin-do. And less people are working in manufacturing compared to Trump's term. It's just fact. And that's why people are not believing it. But voters discouraged by rising prices and baffled by the Bidenomics brand weren't buying it. Now, Biden's closest advisors had a raft of fresh evidence confirming it. Just 35% of Americans trust the Democrats more on economic issues, according to weeks of private polling presented to the White House in mid-September, and recently obtained by Politico. Have these idiots really think that, Bidenomics was popular? And that's Democrats versus Republicans. When you do Trump versus Biden, it's like 22% say Biden's better at handling the economy. I just don't get who's running this Biden campaign. It sucks so far. It was always a terrible idea to focus on the economy. You could focus on a lot of things, and there were some things I say Biden did good with. The expanded child tax credit, which I thought was a good policy. The CHIPS Act. There's some good stuff he did. But instead of hammering that the most, he's focusing on, well, the economy is surging. It's not. The data reinforced broad concerns over the public's dismissal outlook. Despite expressing widespread support for Biden's policy agenda, few voters were aware he'd made much progress on any of a dozen top priorities, like drug pricing or infrastructure. I love how they're trying to make it sound like everybody supports his policies. They don't. Why do you think Biden has a 35% approval or 40%? It's not because it's like Orange Man bad. It's like, no, because his policy sucks. It's not helping anybody. There is some popular stuff like the CHIPS Act and expanded child tax credit. I'll give you that. But people hate the idea of the TPP being brought back. Yeah, the most unpopular thing of Obama's administration, TPP. Well, supposedly Biden's trying to bring it back. It's like, people don't like the policy of Biden. It's factual. And the few accomplishments he did get, no one knows about. Like the CHIPS Act. If I was his campaign, I would be hammering the CHIPS Act. That is a policy that I think everyone would support. But he doesn't. Perhaps most alarming, 7 out of 10 people surveyed believed the economy wasn't getting better, even if they were explicitly told that inflation had eased and unemployment sat near record lows. So even when they got a loaded question that unemployment is going down and inflation's going back to normal, people didn't buy it. You know why? Because these people live in the real world. They have to go get groceries. They have to go fill up their gas tanks. Okay, gas prices are going down, but look at food prices. They're still going up like 8%. And now you're seeing the Democrats, they're making these inflation metrics that doesn't include gas, housing, food. So virtually every necessity they are excluding from inflation. And that means inflation is going down. I just never understood what they're doing. Are they trying to sabotage Biden's re-election chances with this? That preface, designed specifically to persuade voters to brighten their view on the economy, did not seem to move them. No shit! It's common sense. If people think the economy sucks, it doesn't matter what you tell them. It sucks. When we intentionally put our finger on the scale and 100% of people hear good economic indicators before saying if the economy is going well for them, we still get walloped, said Adam Green, co-founder of the Progressive Change Campaign Committee. The group, alongside Data for Progress, conducted the polling and briefed White House officials, Democratic congressional leaders, and top party operatives over several days in September and October. The meetings, the extent of which have not been previously reported, included sit-downs with members of Biden's inner circle, as well as top aides charged with shaping Biden's political and policy strategy ahead of 2024. They offer a window into a White House well aware that its economic message wasn't resonating, even as it's reportedly dismissed such fears as overblown. This campaign's incompetent. I'm sorry to say it, but what the hell are they trying to accomplish here? You could say what you want about, some Republican messaging. At least they wouldn't do this. At least they wouldn't, if they're getting crushed on an issue 70-20, at least with them, they wouldn't say anything. But these morons, instead of, adapting their message and focusing on, the CHIPS Act, they're focused on the economy is surging. And it pisses people off because people realize, wait a minute, you idiots think the economy is actually going good? Screw you. I'm not going to vote for you. It's unbelievable that people really think that the economy's good, or that Democrats think the economy is surging. It doesn't matter what metric you use. If you have 70% of Americans saying the economy sucks, it doesn't matter what you say to them. It sucks. Every poll is showing it, even in the same survey they just talked about. Biden's getting crushed. All the indicators indicate one thing. Biden's messaging, at best, hasn't changed anything. At worst, may have pissed some people off. You cannot go around saying, the economy is going great, I have great policy, when 70% of Americans say the economy stinks. It's just common sense. But who knows? Maybe the Biden administration is going to change their messaging. But so far, people got to talk with the Biden campaign. This is absolutely incompetent. That they focused on Bidenomics when there are several things they could have focused within quote-unquote Bidenomics, like the expanded child tax credit, like the CHIPS Act, which are actually popular, or the insulin cap, which Trump actually pushed, but either way, there's far better things to focus on. But anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.